What's up guys, it's Justin, and today I have some good news and I've got some bad news. I'm going to start with the bad news because you always start with the bad news. And that's that today, I'm not feeling so hot. I'm actually pretty sick today, and I was supposed to go out and drive for Uber, but I'm not going to drive for Uber when I'm sick. I don't think that seems very socially responsible of me, so that's the bad news. But the good news is that means we're going to pivot today and we're going to try a completely different side hustle. Because a great thing about side hustling is that a lot of times it gives you flexibility to do it where you need to do it when you want to do it, and when you're sick, you might still be able to do certain side hustles. And transcription with rev.com is one of those things that I think I can still do even while I'm not feeling so hot. If you've ever watched a greatest side hustles online kind of video, transcription almost always comes up in them, but I don't know how many people actually try it. So today I want to try it myself, see how it goes, see if this is a viable side hustle that you can do consistently to make good money, and let you guys know what I think of it myself. Transcription is a pretty simple concept. It's literally taking an audio file and putting words on it by transcribing or just writing out what you hear in the audio file. You have to have good grammar skills and know common English, but other than that, it's pretty straightforward. So today I'm going to give it a go. And if you haven't already liked this video, subscribe to the channel, left a comment about how awesome I am. I don't know what you're doing yet. Maybe share this video with a friend even. I'd really appreciate you guys so much for doing all that. And with that, let's dive right in. I decided that the first thing I should probably do if I was going to be typing for money was find out how fast I could actually type. I figured you guys deserve to know as well, and honestly, I wasn't too disappointed with my results. I thought they were pretty reflective of how I type in general. Alright, so 78 words per minute with 99% accuracy. Do I think I can replicate that over the course of the entire day? Probably not, but that just goes to show you that I'm a pretty good typist. I'm definitely not an incredible typist. If you think that you can type pretty quickly as well, maybe similar to my speed, then you should be able to probably replicate the results that I get today. So that's a good baseline for you to know. And with that, let's not delay any further and let's get working. Man, I look so sick. Please like this video for Sick Justin. I think he deserves a like on it. Anyway, when you sign up for Rev, you normally have to go through an application process where you take a grammar test as well as a typing test to see if you do well on the platform. I had actually already done that in the past, so all I had to do was get verified, and as soon as I took my picture, it said that I was good to go, and I was opened up to all of the projects that were on there. You can see it breaks it down by a lot of different metrics, such as the pay per minute, the pay total, the audio quality, all sorts of different things that are really good to know. Some things that are really important to look at are unclaims, which is how many people have taken the project and then given it back because they didn't want it anymore, as well as the number of speakers, which is obviously going to make things more or less difficult along the way. And I took a project that was probably biting off a little bit more than I could chew. It had a ton of speakers on it, and not to mention they all talked over each other over and over again, and it made it almost impossible. So I became just another person that had to unclaim the project, saying there was just too much crosstalk, and at the end of the day I wasn't going to waste my time doing that anymore, so I moved on. Okay, well, we successfully unclaimed that project, which I guess is a good thing because there was no way I was going to be able to do that at all. It was a million people talking. But the bad news is we are now a substantial amount of time into the future, and I haven't made any money or made any progress toward making any money. So we're going to see if we can get a new project, maybe one that's a little easier, maybe a few less voices, and we'll see how that goes. I decided to be much more strategic when picking this next audio clip. I used these little tiny icons on here to pick out a sports clip, which I figured was a good topic for me to do because I'm very familiar with the subject. It was a 14-minute clip with 2 speakers, and the audio quality was okay, I guess. It didn't sound great, but I could at least pretty much understand everything they were saying. And while I can't actually reveal what was said in the audio clip, I can tell you that it was an interview with 2 speakers, one asking very brief questions and the other one answering in pretty extended sessions. So that's how it went down. The platform is really easy to use. It gives you a bunch of information like all the keyboard shortcuts that are available to you, as well as different playback speeds and the option to change your settings on all of those. That really helped out a lot, but I'm not going to lie to you, sitting there and typing out a 14-minute audio clip takes a lot longer than you expect, and it is not by any means thrilling. Alright, one project down, I'm not going to lie, that was tough. That was really grueling. It was a 14-minute and 11-second audio clip, as I'm sure narrator Justin has already told you, and I earned $8.23 for it. But it took me a little over 2 hours, and I'm sure a little bit of that is inexperience. It did take me a few minutes to kind of get the ball rolling, figure out exactly what I was doing. But on the flip side of that, I don't really see how I could have done that in faster than, say, an hour and a half. And even if I had absolutely blown through it and done it in like an hour, it would have made me $8.23 an hour. And I can tell you right now, you're better off going and getting a part-time job, because you can get a part-time job almost anywhere and make more than $8.23 per hour. Now, I am missing some things like a foot pedal, which you can use to slow down and speed up and reverse the audio, which admittedly that would be helpful to be able to go back without having to click off or use a keyboard shortcut. But still, being able to do a 15-minute audio clip in an hour, that's pretty questionable. And again, even if you could do that, you'd still only be making $8.23 an hour off this specific audio clip. So I'll give it one more go. I'll try one more audio clip. I'm gonna be honest, I really don't want to. This is starting to look like it's not really a viable side hustle. In fact, I'm pretty confident that it's not a viable side hustle, but I will do one more audio clip for the sake of experimentation, and we'll see how it goes. True to my word, I did pick another audio clip. This time I was really picky, and I spent a lot of time scrolling for one that had good quality, had only 2 speakers, and I landed on another interview. It was a great clip, really no problems with the audio itself, and it was much shorter than my first project, which was really nice. And speaking of my first project, while I was typing away at this one, I actually got my grade back for the first clip. I got a 5 on both accuracy and formatting, which I was really happy with, and the only feedback I got was that I had a good understanding of verbatim style, very consistent, good speaker labels. Well done. And I was happy about that, but at the end of the day, I was not making enough money to be counting moral victories, so I continued to type away, but never really caught any sort of stride doing it. Alright, well, there was the second one. It paid $3, but it was only a 5-minute audio clip, so much shorter but much smaller pay, and it took me a full half hour to do it. In fact, it was 5 when I started. It is now exactly 5:30, so averaging $6 an hour on that one. Did I get a little faster? Yes, but also that audio clip had like at least 2 minutes worth of dead silence in it, which I was just able to skip over entirely, and so really it was only like a 3-minute audio clip, and I think I got really lucky there. But man, I'll tell you what, so far this is not worth it at all. I'm gonna give it one more go just to make sure that I'm not missing something, that I'm not just picking bad audio clips. But man, this is a rough start. It is not looking promising for transcription, I will tell you that. People that say, oh, you can make $20 an hour doing this, either A, they're just using some sort of system that just records it and just transcribes it for them, or B, they're completely confused and they're just looking at the actual transcription rate, not the working rate that you get. They're looking at, oh, you make $20 for this hour of transcription, you make $20 an hour. Not the case. Do not get that confused. These rates on here are for the audio minutes, not the amount of time that it takes you, and it is going to take you substantially longer than the project's actual length. At this point, I had made $11.34, which again is pretty discouraging. I did get a 5 on both accuracy and formatting for my second project as well. It was graded really quickly. So as promised, I started scrolling through clips again, trying to find one that would work out. But I got an audio piece that absolutely blasted my eardrums with static. It was horrible. My ears were literally ringing for the next 10 minutes. And I decided, you know what? I haven't made any money. My ears hurt, and that's enough for today. Alright, I think that is going to do it for today. I just could not find another project that was even worth my time. As if those first 2 projects were worth my time, but the rest of them definitely were not. And I think that what goes on here is it looks like there's kind of a hierarchy of workers on here. So there's revers, which is just people like you and me that would hop on here and try this out, do normal transcription or whatever else. And then once you hit certain metrics and you've completed a certain number of jobs, then you get bumped up to Rever Plus. And it appears that if you're a Rever Plus, you get a first look at projects and you get to claim them before revers, regular revers, ever even get the chance at them. So I'm almost certain that any good viable audio clips that are going to be really easy to transcribe with crystal clear audio, those are going to get picked up by Rover Pluses. So if you're willing to wade through hours and hours and hours of bad audio and wasted time and only making, on my case, like $4.50 an hour, then maybe you have a chance to get to Rover Plus and make a lot more. That's just a theory, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not gonna recommend wasting your time for hours and hours and hours trying to get there when it might not even be any different. So do I think that this is a viable side hustle? Not really. I kept thinking in my head I could be out door dashing making $20+ an hour. That's kind of become the standard for me as far as side hustles go, is my DoorDash money. So if I can make $20 an hour door dashing, even once you factor out gas, I'm still doing way better than getting on here and transcribing for $4.50 an hour. I mean, there's nothing that is worth my time for $4.50 an hour. So is this a viable side hustle? No, it's not, in my opinion, unless I just did something completely wrong, but I'm pretty sure that I didn't. We're gonna call that myth busted. We are the side hustle myth busters. This myth is busted. Rev.com, probably not the place you want to go to pick up some extra cash. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed me going through a little bit of pain to get to this point. Hardest $11 I've ever earned, that's for sure. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you appreciate the side hustle content. I'm going to try more and more side hustles, so if you have one that you want to see tried, go ahead and leave a comment. Other than that, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video with a friend, do all that amazing stuff that you guys always do such a good job of doing. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.